This is Class 9 CBSE History French Revolution Part 4. The outbreak of the revolution. Louis XVI had to increase taxes for reasons you have learnt in the previous section. In previous section you learned about that the reasons for the increase of the taxes by Louis XVI. How do you think he could have gone about doing this? In France of the old regime, that means according to the old political or government system in France, the monarch did not have the power to impose taxes according to his will alone. So according to the old political system, that monarch, that is Louis XVI, did not have the power to impose the taxes, that means increase the taxes according to his will alone. Rather, he had to call a meeting of the Estates General, which would then pass his proposals for new taxes. So, he would call for the meeting for the estate generals. There he would then pass the proposals of the increase of the new taxes. That is the old political system of France. That one is known as old regime. The Estates General was a political body like assembly, like a parliament, to which the three estates, already French society is divided into three estates. So all the three estates sent their representatives to the estate general. However, the monarch alone could decide when to call a meeting of this body. So monarch alone could decide when he had to call a meeting to the estates general. The last time it was done was in 1614. So previous time, last time that meeting was called was in 1614. So 1614 last time was called. Then now is 1789 is calling to increase the taxes. So almost the difference is 175 years. So after 175 years, he had called the Estates General meeting. On 5th May 1789, Louis XVI called together an assembly of the Estates General to pass proposals for new taxes. A resplendent hall, that means an attractive or splendid or impressive hall, that is in Versailles, was prepared to host the delegates. Here delegates means representatives of the three estates. The first and second estates sent 300 representatives each. That means first estate clergy sent 300 representatives. Then second estate nobility sent 300 representatives to the estate general, who were seated in rows facing each other on two sides. So there, for them alone the seating arrangements was did, and also they were seated like in the rows facing each other. So left side is completely one group, that is one estate, and then right side is one estate, they are facing each other. While the 600 members of the third estate had to stand at the back. Why third estate alone 600 representative means the third estate population is more than the first two estates. That means 90% belongs to third estate. 10% only first two estates. That's what third estate peoples, that means members, they sent 600 representatives with their side, but inside the Versailles, the seating arrangements was not did for the third estate. They had to stand at the back. Actually, third estate only taxpayers. First two estate they are not a taxpayers. But even though seating arrangement is did for them first two estates, but the third estate had to stand at the back. The third estate was represented by its more prosperous and educated members. So third estate representatives belongs to prosperous and educated members only. The peasants, artisans and women were denied. They were denied, that means entry to the assembly. However, their grievances, their problems and demands, their needs were listed in some 40,000 letters which the representatives had brought with them. So the 600 representatives, they brought the 40,000 letters which belongs to the peasants, artisans and women's grievances and their demands. Voting in the Estates General in the past, according to the old regime, had been conducted according to the principle that each estate had one vote. That means there is no individual vote, each estate one vote. That means clergy together one vote, nobility one vote and third estate one vote. This time too, Louis XVI was determined to continue the same practice. Actually, if it is the same practice means, so the first two estate always support to the king because they were not sufferers of that increase of the taxes. Anyhow, they are not going to pay any tax amount. They are enjoying the complete all the privileges. But third estate members were only sufferers, but they have only one vote. So obviously clergy and nobility support the king and would vote to king alone. But third estate they would surely vote against the king. But members of the third estate this time demanded that voting now be conducted by the assembly as a whole, where each member would have one vote. So this time the third estate members they demanded, this time there is no overall vote like a old regime. This time they demanded, they want each and every person's individual voting rights. This was one of the democratic principles put forward by the philosophers like Rousseau in his book. Actually, whatever they demanded to the king, this one is explained, this one is forwarded by the Rousseau in his book. This is one of the democratic principle. That book name is The Social Contract. What he said in that, he want that contract between the representatives and the people. When the king rejected this proposal, this demanded by the third estate, members of the third estate walked out of the assembly in protest. So when the king rejected this proposal, the third estate members, almost all the 600 representatives, they walked out of the assembly in protest. The representatives of the third estate viewed themselves as spokesmen for the whole French nation. So the 600 representatives of the third estate, they viewed themselves, they showed themselves, they were the spokesmen for the whole French nation. On 20th June, they assembled in the hall of an indoor tennis court in the grounds of Versailles. In the grounds of Versailles, they all assembled, they all gathered in the hall, that is a indoor tennis court. This only known as the tennis court oath. They declared themselves a national assembly because these representatives, They thought themselves they are belongs to the spokesman for the whole French nation. So national, the team is called as assembly. So National Assembly had sworn not to disperse till they had drafted a constitution for France that would limit the powers of the monarch. So they all promise not to disperse till they had drafted a constitution. So the National Assembly members, they started to draft the constitution for France. In that, main objective of that constitution is they would limit the powers of the monarch. They were led by Mirabeau and Abbé Sieyès. These were the two important persons, leaders of that National Assembly, Mirabeau and Abbé Sieyès. Mirabeau was born in a noble family. Actually, Mirabeau was a noble person. He born in a noble family, but was convinced of the need to do away with a society of feudal privileges. He need to do away with the society. He wants to do something away with the society from the feudal privileges, especially the nobility persons enjoying the feudal privileges that he want to take away from the society. He brought out a journal and delivered powerful speeches to the crowds assembled at Versailles. So he brought some magazines, journals, and delivered. He spoke powerful speech to the crowds, those who assembled at Versailles. Here you can see a picture is given here. This picture is known as the tennis court oath. The representatives of the third estate, they gathered in the indoor stadium of tennis court. Actually, this is a painting. This one is painted by Jacques Louis David. Here, that main spokesperson, this person is facing backwards to the general people, that is that representatives. Why he painted like this means actually he faced towards that representatives only, but the painter is painted like this opposite. Why means because this constitution framers were belongs to third estate, that also rich and educated persons. These persons are denied the peasants, artisans, poor persons and women. And then because this constitution itself is divide the voting rights into two category. One is active citizens, another one is passive citizens. So those who are behind him, he has considered as a passive citizens. This one is indirectly sketched or painted by the David. Next person is Abbé Sieyès. He was originally a priest, that means he belongs to clergy. He wrote an influential pamphlet, a pamphlet called What is the Third Estate? What is really the Third Estate? While the National Assembly was busy at Versailles drafting a constitution. So National Assembly representatives, they gathered in the tennis court and they were busy in the drafting of constitution. Same time, the rest of the France seethed with turmoil. A fear was spread out, a confusion was spread out there. Great confusion is spread out in the rest of the France. A severe winter had meant a bad harvest. The price of bread rose. So because of bad harvest, obviously the price of the bread rose. Often bakers exploited the situation. They are taking their own advantage that situation and they hoarded supplies. So they hoarded the breads. After spending hours in long queues at the bakery, crowds of angry women stormed into the shops. They attacked the shops and started to take out the hoard breads. At the same time, so this one happened in that rest of the France. In the same time, the king ordered troops to move into Paris. That is military force. So that time only the rumor spread out. The king ordered the troops to move into the Paris. Because of that, he would order the crowds to be fired. So this rumor spread out. That's what the starting of the lesson we learned. The 7,000 men and women gathered in the front of the town hall. They started to form the militia, and then for that they wanted arms. So they attacked the government buildings. So in that one of the incident is on 14th July 1789, the agitated crowd stormed and destroyed the Bastille, the prison of Bastille. In the countryside, that is village side, rumors spread from village to village. So here that prescribed in the map here, how the rumor spread out from one point to another area. It's given in that through the arrow marks. That the lords of the manor had hired bands of brigands who were on their way to destroy the ripe crops. Manor means an estate consisting of the lord's land and his mansion. So it's only known as a estate of the lords, that lord's land and his mansion. So the lords are going to hire the bands of brigands. Bands of brigands means those who are doing the robbery work. So they were hired by the manors who were on their way to destroy the ripe crops of the poor peasants. This rumor caught in a frenzy of fear. Here frenzy of fear means a great fear is caught among the villagers. Peasants in several districts seized hoes and pitchforks. These are the tools of the agriculture, and they started to attack Château. Château is a French word. Château means a castle or stately residence belonging to a king or a nobleman, a place where the king or nobleman residence. They looted hoarded grains in their residence. They attacked with the use of the hoes and pitchforks. They hoarded grain and burned down documents containing records of manorial dues. So, manorial dues of the each and every peasants, that documents they burnt. A large number of nobles, because of this incident, a large number of nobles fled from their homes. They ran away from their homes, many of them migrating to neighboring countries. They left the France and then they entered into neighboring countries. Faced with the power of his revolting subjects, because one side National Assembly, that is representatives of Third Estate, they walked out from that estate general. They assembled in the tennis court and then they started to draft the constitution. In city side also the turmoil spread out. That's what that crowds of angry women also attacked the écrins and they started to loot the hoarded bread. And one side a group which were attacked the prison of Bastille, and also in villages also rumors spread out. They also used their agricultural tools and then they attacked the Château, that is residence of the noblemen, and then they looted the hoarded grains and also they burnt the documents which was records of manorial dues. Because of this all the revolts, Louis XVI finally accorded recognition to the National Assembly and accepted the principle that his powers would from now on be checked by a constitution. So finally he agreed, that means Louis XVI agreed the National Assembly, and also he accepted to reduce his powers, and also the constitution can check his pass. On the night of 4th August 1789, the assembly, that is National Assembly, passed a decree. Decree means orders abolishing the feudal system of obligations and taxes. So first thing they did this one, that one is abolishing the feudal system. They abolished the landlord system, and then their obligations of collecting the taxes in the name of the privileges from the peasants. Members of the clergy too were forced to give up their privileges. This is number 2. So members of the clergy also, they should give up their privileges. Tithes, which was collected by the clergy, 1/10 of the agricultural produce by the peasants, were abolished. Lands owned by the church were confiscated. This one is third one, this one is fourth one. So lands owned by the church were confiscated. As a result, the government acquired assets worth at least 2 billion livres. So they confiscated the lands, they stopped the privileges of the nobles and also the clergy. So the asset worth became at least 2 billion livres. In next video, we learn France becomes a constitutional monarchy. Until then, thank you.